Wusstest du, dass wenn du dir die stärksten Pflanzen der Natur nimmst, diese miteinander kombinierst, noch ein paar leckere Früchte hinzugibst und das Ganze mit Wasser aufgießt, einen Drink kreierst, der dich über 5 Stunden wach und fokussiert hält, dass dein Verlangen nach ungesunden Energy-Drinks in nur wenigen Tagen verschwindet, dein Körper sich nach 2 Wochen von all den Giftstoffen befreit hat und du dich nach 3 Wochen endlich mal richtig energiegeladen fühlst?
Sometimes I wish to fly away. Sometimes I want to fly away. But you can't judge a book looking at the...
Here comes Chris Benoit and Taz the Rabbit. Wolverine looks even more intense and focused than usual for tonight's triple threat match.
Of course he does, Cole. There's a lot at stake here tonight. A lot of pride on the line.
You gotta think that a triple threat match like this would favor a superstar like The Undertaker, Taz. It's hard enough to garner a victory over The Undertaker in the best of circumstances.
Maybe, maybe not. I know the other two guys in this match don't see eye to eye. But if they decide to team up against him, it could be bad news for the dead man.
Talk about your rotten luck. It was an order from Kenny Long to put this man in the middle of the rivalry between Benoit and The Undertaker, and he's been paying for it ever since.
You see it as a bad thing, Cole, but I see it as a good thing. Let's face it, even if he loses here tonight, an impressive showing against superstars like Benoit and The Undertaker counts for something. You know what I mean?
My rap shop bit him up for that. Now stick him up. 10-4, good buddy. Tone got his money up. Worth million, still back your bitch looking.
Good evening to our fans from Vancouver, British Columbia. Michael Cole and Taz at ringside. And what a show we've got for you tonight. Hey, partner?
Hey, Cole, it's pretty funny. You said, hey. You know, like the Canadians, they always go, hey. You know, hey.
Can I say, Taz, the enthusiasm of these Vancouver fans is contagious. I can't remember the last time I saw a crowd this pumped up for SmackDown action.
Man, even if you end up winning a match like this, you're going to be feeling it for the next week.
Yes, but that's the case if you lose as well. And having to deal with emotional as well as physical pain is that much worse.
Emotional? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, I've been in the locker room after a match and seen the superstars who don't get their hands raised. You can literally feel the disappointment radiating off them. It's not a pretty sight.
Nice, he's 3 seconds away from a win. Chris Benoit's a great technical wrestler, no doubt about it. I'm telling you. But after taking, you know, there is such a thing as playing to the crowd a little too much, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here.
I disagree. He's wrestled this match his way all along, and now we see it paying off.
Man, I'm telling you, from my in-ring experience, Trust me, you could cut this tension with a knife.
I don't think you need in-ring experience to feel the tenacity radiating off these superstars, Taz. I don't think anything could be more obvious.
Spoken like a guy who's never been in there, Cole. Trust me, when it comes down to you or them, it's a whole different level of intensity.
I'll have to take your word for it, Taz. I honestly can't imagine a more electric atmosphere than the one in this arena right now.
Nice quick counter. I gotta tell you, Cole, I thought I had this thing figured out, but now I got no idea how this is gonna end up.
Neither do I, Taz. And I think it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting.
No doubt, Cole. I've seen superstars get a huge advantage over their opponents and still lose the match because they got sloppy.
Anything can happen in WWE. An entire match can turn on one or two big moves.
And that's why you can't take your eyes off the action for 1 second. You never know when something huge is going to go down.
And the crowd has come alive tonight with a chant directed at the superstars in the ring.
Oh, God. The ref's on Dream Street, Cole. Anything goes there.
Unfortunately, you're right, Taz. There's no one to enforce the rules until the ref revives. Oh, my! The submission hold is locked in.
And this ain't easy to get out of either, Cole. These superstars have been going hard all match.
They sure have.
Wow, look at that submission. I ain't never seen it executed better.
Neither have I, partner, and this might be enough to get the tap out right here. I don't think there's ever been a more dominant superstar in WWE.
Man, this crowd is really swelling this guy's head.
There's no doubt that these fans love him, Taz, and he's feeding off that energy right now.
Oh, jeez, look at this. Pandering to the crowd.
Nothing wrong with keeping the paying customers happy while you build some momentum, Taz.
I think Benoit might have lost a step or two when he took that little vacation from SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? We all know that the competition...
He's taking a little time to give his opponent a piece of his mind.
You sure you can spare it, Cole? There's not a superstar in the locker room who can afford to ignore these fans, Cole.
You're right about that. Without the fans, we'd all be out of a job.
That was a textbook reversal. You just don't see action like this every day, Cole.
You sure don't, Taz. And we've got the best seats in the house.
No doubt, front and center. We couldn't be any closer to this match without being in it.
Whoa, that's your territory, partner, not mine. I'm perfectly happy to stay right where I am.
The thing you gotta remember about The Undertaker is that 50% of his style, his offense, is about getting inside the head of his opponent. If you can keep your cool and keep your head together in the ring with him, you're halfway home.
But you're not taking into account the power and experience of the dead man, Taz. Surely you can't forget about that.
Well, you see, that's the other 50%, man. Good luck with that, if you know what I'm saying. By the way, let me ask you a question. You call me Shirley? You know, Cole, I got a lot of respect for Chris Benoit, but he also jumped back and forth between Raw and SmackDown more than any other
He could pin his opponent right here. The referee's hand was coming down for a 3 count.
There's the cover. Well, it looks like they're slowing the pace down a little bit here. That might not be such a good move in my opinion.
Oh, come on, you just can't keep going non-stop. That's a good way to wear yourself out and make a critical mistake.
No, but you can't give the opponent any time to recover neither. You gotta stay on him and wear him down.
What about picking your spot? If you try to execute a badly timed move just because you want to stay on offense, that could have a disastrous result.
I'll tell you what, Cole. Let me talk about what it's like to be in a match like this, and you can cover what it's like to whiten your teeth. Deal?
What a counter that was! I think we're hearing the First Amendment in action here tonight, Taz.
It's a great thing to hear, Cole. I'm all in favor of freedom of expression, whether I agree with what they're saying or not. Man, you talk about superstars who ain't got an ounce of quit in them, huh? You're looking at them right here.
And that's a potentially dangerous mindset to be in. If there's the pin, can his opponent kick out?
Oh man, I can't believe that wasn't 3. When you see this level of competition, Cole, there is no doubt that SmackDown's just head and shoulders better than Raw.
I couldn't agree more, Taz. Raw has some incredible superstars, no question about it. But they just can't compete with SmackDown's finest.
Come on, Cole. I know you're just trying to be diplomatic, but you can't seriously sit there and say that there's anyone on the Raw roster you'd want to have here on SmackDown. This could be 3 right here.
Got your boy in the boot.
Here's your winner, Dustin.
Just to cut them again. Have you ever been so sad? I'll lay my hands down to comfort your empty soul. It never forgets. It lies in your skin beneath your backbone. I'll scratch up my empty wounds. It never forgets. A bed of your broken nails to lay on. I try to hide. I don't want to be afraid of letting go. I'm someone like you. I know another story. How will I know? afraid of letting go of someone like you. Another love, another story. How will I know? I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be afraid of someone like you. I don't want to be afraid of letting go.
Okay, KK. G's up. Little scrap. I got money. Be a me. Money in the bank. See you
I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink. I got money in the bank.
Yeah.
Shout out what you drink.
I'ma get that dough and with them. Some ladies that know me know strap is a pro. Fill up at the bar, go get a massage. Buy me a couple, we can make.
This is the dead man's chance to prove that he is the dominant superstar here on SmackDown, Taz.
I'm not sure how much Taker's got to prove, Cole. You're talking about one of the most decorated veterans in the business here.
There's no doubt The Undertaker is a legend in his own time, Taz, but we may be seeing the birth of a new legend here tonight at No Mercy. Not to take anything away from him, Taz, but I don't think many people expected him to make it to No Mercy.
I gotta agree with you. Again, nothing against the guy, but he went up against two of the greatest superstars in the history of the... That was a textbook reversal.
He was one step ahead on that one.
Hey, the ref's got a tough job. I mean, trying to keep these superstars on the up and up, that's hard.
Well, it's easier to get some superstars to play by the rules than others.
Hey, you know what, Cole? If you're gonna get on your high horse again and give us another lecture about playing fair, I swear to God, I'm gonna throw up.
Is it so wrong to ask a superstar to play by the rules, Taz? That doesn't seem to be so unreasonable to me.
That's because you never competed in a match, Cole. If you did, you know that you gotta do whatever it takes to win. And if that means bending the rules a bit, well then, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Man, his opponent looked like a punk with that counter. This is one heck of a match so far.
It sure is, Taz. What do you think the highlight has been so far?
Well, that'll probably come a little bit later on in the match. And you decide to shut the gap for a few seconds, and I can enjoy it in peace.
Well, excuse me for doing my job, partner. Sorry to have disturbed you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing an incredible display of athletic ability here tonight.
What do you expect, Cole? These are WWE superstars for crying out loud. They're the greatest athletes in the world.
True enough, Taz. There's no off-season for them. There's no month or two off between matches.
There sure ain't, Cole. I mean, these guys are here week in and week out, and every night they leave it in the ring.
And they do it all for the WWE fans, Taz. Without them, none of us would even be here.
You know, there's no doubt that The Undertaker is one of the most impressive superstars ever to set foot in a WWE ring. But you know what, Cole? You're only as good as your last match.
How can you say that, Taz? The dead man has proven himself time and time again. I highly doubt that that would change if he lost his match, which I don't think he's in danger of doing, by the way.
Taker's earned his rep, no doubt about that. No one's disputing that. But you gotta know when to call it a day, Cole. There's a fine line between legend and has-been.
I can't believe you can sit here and even imply that The Undertaker might be a has-been. That could be hazardous to your health.
Hey, Cole, don't put words in my mouth. The dead man has been on top of this business for a very long time. But the thing about being on top is there's nowhere to go but down. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Nothing costs you a match quicker than overconfidence.
What are you talking about? I see a dominant superstar who's rallying this capacity crowd behind him. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
No surprise there, Cole. The WWE fans ain't exactly known for keeping their opinions to themselves. It's so great seeing these athletes compete here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later.
There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did.
That's for sure. You know, anytime you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed to get a hell of a show.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight.
These superstars give everything they got when they're in a match like this. But a lot of people don't realize what they sacrifice behind the scenes.
He knows his opponent is completely helpless to resist the submission hold.
And that means you gotta either dig deep and find a way to break it, or you gotta just flat out tap out. You know, Cole, I'd ask you who you were pulling for in this match, but I think it's pretty obvious since the beginning who you're rooting for.
I never claimed to be completely objective, Taz. It's no secret I respect superstars who stick within the rules and show some sportsmanship in the ring.
You gotta understand, Cole, I know it ain't exactly kosher, but you're putting your body on the line in there. You gotta do whatever it takes to protect yourself and pick up the win.
Taz, you're talking about two different things. Going outside the rules in the name of self-defense is one thing, but cheating to steal a victory and enhance your own career is something completely different. Talk about adding insult to injury, and these fans love it.
Yeah, well, you know what? He better worry more about the injury and less about the insult until this match is over.
It sounds like this capacity crowd is something on their minds, Taz.
Yeah, and thousands of paying customers can't be wrong. Man, I'll tell you what, man, this one's just turned into a fight. Pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone...
On the mat, shoulders down. This could be it.
I don't believe it. He did it. He did it.
That was incredible. Benoit and Taker spent all this time feuding over who was the dominant superstar of SmackDown, and it wasn't neither of them. It was a man standing victoriously in the ring right there.
Well, one thing's for sure, he just made the entire SmackDown locker room sit up and take notice, and the Raw locker room as well. This is the superstar is going places. In fact, this is going to go down as a memorable No Mercy, to say the least.